Hello viewers, welcome back to Programming Learners 3.142. In this video, we are going to write a C program to calculate sine of an angle. User will enter the value of angle and our program will calculate sine of that angle or trigonometric sine function of that angle and display the result onto the output screen. So let us start writing it. Before writing the program, let us discuss how we calculate sine of an angle. Okay, so we calculate sine of an angle through the series expansion of sine function. And okay, so let us write here sine series expansion of sine function sine theta. Okay, so if we expand the sine function in terms of series, so sine theta equal to theta minus theta cube by 3 factorial plus theta to the power 5 by 5 factorial minus theta to the power 7 by 7 factorial plus theta to the power 9 by 9 factorial minus theta to the power 11 by 11 factorial and dot dot dot. Okay, so we will first write if function to convert the value of angle from degree to radian. Okay, value of angle from degree to radian. Okay, now then we will write a function to calculate power of a double data type raised to the index or integer data type. Okay, so we will write a function which will calculate power of a double variable and that power is an integer. Function to calculate exponent of a double, okay, or floating or decimal numbers, and the power is an integer number. Next we'll write a function to calculate factorial of a number, factorial of an integer number. Then we write a function to calculate factorial of an integer number. Okay, so we will write these functions and then we will write a for loop to implement this series. And for loop, the general term will be sin theta equal to summation of I grows from 1 to infinity minus 1 to the power I minus 1, then theta to the power 2i minus 1 divided by 2i minus 1 factorial. This is the ith term. This is the ith term of sin theta series expansion. Okay, so Let us remember this formula. This is the series expansion of sine theta, and general term is this one, or a ith term is this one, and whether the ith term will be positive or negative, this will be decided by this one. Suppose we put I equal to 1. So what we will get? Here we will get minus 1 to the power 0, which is equal to 1 into theta to the power 2 into 1 minus 1. That is 2 minus 1, that is 1. Theta to the power 1 divided by 2 into 1 minus 1, that is 1 factorial, or simply theta. Similarly, if we put I equal to 2, what we will get? Minus 1 to the power 2 minus 1, that is equal to minus 1 into theta to the power 2 into 2, 4, 4 minus 1 is 3. That is theta cube divided by 2 into 2, 4, 4 minus 1 is 3, 3 factorial. This is the second term. So we will get ith term by putting the value of I. Okay. So let us start writing the program. So first we will write a comment, multi-line comment, and that is C program to calculate trigono sine of an angle. Okay, and we'll extend this comment to the next line, written by programming learners 3.142. So as usual, we'll include the header file has include stdio.h. This stdio.h header file, it consists or it includes all the prototype declaration of the functions that we are going to use in our program, and it also includes some of the macros that has been defined. So now we will define a constant for pi, and syntax for that is as define pi. Has defined is white space, then pi, capital P capital I. We can give any name, but giving capital name signifies it is a macro or a constant, then the value, and this is the value of the pi up to 100 decimal places. Then we will write the prototype of the functions that we are going to use. First function will write to convert degree to radian. Okay, so here it will take a double value as input, and it will also return a double value as output. So this function, the return type is double, and the function name is degree to radian. Okay, and it will take one argument, and that argument is of double type. Okay, so this completes the prototype declaration of degree to radian function. Then we will write another function to calculate the power. So this function will return double as the result, and let's say name of the function is x to the power y. The name of the function is x to the power y, and this function will take two variables, double x and int y. Okay, so here the first x will be the value of the angle and y will be the integer. Then we will define another function to calculate factorial, and it will return the double, and it will take an integer value as input. Let's say name of the function is factorial. Okay, and it will take an integer as input. Okay, we don't need to define variable here as it is prototype, but we can define the variable. Now let us write the main function. Int main, then we'll start curly bracket. First we need a variable to store the value of angle, and that variable is of double type. So user may enter any of the decimal value. So we take double as the data type of that variable, and name of the variable is angle. Okay, then we will prompt the user to enter a value of angle. For that we will use the printf function. Printf to start double quote /n/t. This is the escape sequence to create a new line and a tab character on the output screen. Here we will prompt enter the value of angle in degree. Okay, so whatever the value of angle, user have to enter that in degree. Then we store that value to the variable angle, and for that we use the function scanf. Scanf %lf, then we put a comma, then we use ampersand, then name of the variable. Okay, here the %lf is the format specifier for the double data type, and whatever the value of the angle user will enter, that will be stored to the address of variable angle. Now that we have stored the value into the variable angle, we need to convert that value to radian. As user has entered the value in degree, we need to convert that value into radian. For that, we will say angle equal to degree to radian, and we will give the same value as input to the function. Okay, now we have invoked the function, we have called the function. So now we will calculate the value of the sine of that angle, and for that we need to define another function, that is sine theta. So it will return a double value, and name of the function is sine. It will take a double value as input. Okay, so here let us declare another variable, and that variable is sine of angle. Sine of angle. Okay, so here sine of angle sine of angle equal to sine angle. Okay, this will calculate the sine theta or sine of the angle. Now we need to display this. Printf will start double quote slash n slash t sine of angle. For that angle we will use percentage LF. Okay, and let's say we'll use another percentage C for printing the degree symbol equal to percentage LF. Okay, so first percentage LF will represent the angle, then percentage C will represent the degree symbol, and for that the constant is 248, and the second percentage LF will represent the sine of angle. Okay, now let us put a semicolon here, and before printing the angle we need to restore the angle into degree, and for that we need to define another function double radian to degree, and it will take double as variable as input, or it will take a double value as input. Okay, now we need to call that function angle equal to radian to degree of angle. Okay, so we have written the main function, and main function will return a value to the operating system, that is return 0. Now it is time to declare all the functions that we have defined earlier, or prototype. We have defined the prototype of these functions earlier. So first, degree to radian. Okay, double degree to radian. It will take a double value, and let's say the name of the variable is x. Okay, then we'll start the curly bracket. Now as we know, pi radian equal to 180 degree. Okay, and 1 degree equal to pi by 180 radian. So whatever the value, that will be multiplied by pi by 180. So here we can write directly return x into pi by 180. So this will convert the value of angle from degree to radian. Okay, this was a very simple function. Now we will define another function, that is radian to degree. Return type is double. Name of the function is radian to degree. It will take a double value as input, and let's say name of the variable is x. Here the input is in radian, we need to convert that into degree. Again, as pi radian equal to 180 degree, 1 radian equal to 180 by pi degree. So we need to multiply 180 by pi with the radian. return x into 180 by pi. Okay, so this will convert the value of the angle from radian to degree. Now let us write the function for x to the power y. Okay, it will return a double value and it will receive a double and integer as input. Double x. Let's change the name of this function x power y. Okay, or x raised to a power x raised to y. X to the or simply let give the name as x to underscore the underscore power underscore y. X to the power y. Okay, this is the name of the function x to the power y. So here x to the power y. Here it will take a double variable x and an integer variable y. Okay, x is the base and y is the exponent. So as we know, 0 to the power 0 is not defined. We need to counter that case. Here if x equal to 0 and y equal to 0, we need to print a message. We need to print a message printf /n/t 0 to the power 0 is not defined. Okay, and we simply return x. Now if y is 0 or else if only y is 0, we know something to the power 0 is 1. If the base is non-zero, then its raised to the power 0 is 1. Okay, so if y equal to 0, then return 1. Because something to the power 0 equal to 1. The condition is the base should not be 0. Else, if x is non-zero, y is non-zero, then here we'll start a block for here we need to declare a variable, double variable result. Okay, and let we initialize that variable to the value 1. Okay, so here we write the for loop for int I equal to 1 okay, then semicolon, I less than equal to y, semicolon, I plus plus, okay, and here result e- result equal to result into x, okay, so this will calculate x to the power y. So if y equal to 1, this loop will run for one time and the result will be 1 into x, and that is equal to x. Similarly, if y equal to 2, this loop will run for 2 times, and for the first time result equal to 1 into x, that is equal to x, and for the second time it will be x into x, that is equal to x square. So it will work fine. Okay, and we'll write here return result, return result. So this completes our x to the power y function. Then next we'll define the factorial function. This factorial function will take an integer as input and return double as output. Double factorial, it will take a number, let's say num or x as input. Okay, so here we will define a double variable factorial of x. Okay, so first, as we know, the factorial is not defined for negative numbers. We need to check that condition. If x less than 0, printf will start double quote slash n slash t is not defined for negative number. Okay, and in that case we will have to return only x, return x, and will, as there are two statements, we need to include this in the within the curly bracket. Okay, now we will look at another condition. Else if x is 0, as we all know the factorial of 0 is 1, in that case we will have to return 1. Okay, now if x is not less than 0 or x is not 0, it must be greater than 0. In that case we need to calculate it, factorial of the number. Else for and let us initialize the factorial of number to the value 1. Okay, so in this case for int I equal to 1, I less than equal to x, I plus plus. Okay, and we'll multiply the value of I to the factorial of x. Factorial of x equal to factorial of x into I. Okay, or here you can also write the same statement in a new way. Factorial of x star equal to I. Okay, so this is the same statement as factorial of x equal to factorial of x into I. Now in this case we need to return it. Return factorial of x, and here we need to put a curly bracket. Okay, now we have successfully written the factorial function. So in the first case, if the number is less than 0, factorial is not defined. In that case, we will simply return x, and if the x is 0, we will return 1, and if x is a positive number, we will calculate it inside a for loop. Okay, now the main function, that is, we will define the sine function. Okay, here sine function will take a double value as input, and it is also return a double value as output. Double, name of the function is sine. It will take double value as input, and let's say the angle is x. Okay, here we need to define a accuracy, and if we achieve that much accuracy, our for loops should stop. So let's say has defined accuracy 1.0 or 1e minus 100. This means whenever we write accuracy, it will say 1 by 1 to the power 10 to the power 100. Okay, so that is the level of accuracy we want. That means it will give us the result up to 100 decimal place. Okay, so here we need to define double variable, and the name of the variable is sine x. Okay, then we'll start a for loop here. For I equal, here we need to define it, int I equal to 1. This is the initialization. Then the condition is ith term. Okay, or let's say nth term. Nth term. As long as the nth, let's say here the variable loop variable is n, from term 1 to here, when nth term is greater than accuracy by 10. as long as or as soon as the nth term becomes greater than accuracy by 10, keep executing it. Okay, or keep repeating the for loop. As long as nth term is greater than accuracy by 10, keep repeating the for loop. Int n equal to 1, nth term greater than accuracy by 10, n plus plus. Okay, here we'll start a for loop, and we need to define another double variable, that is nth term, and initially we initialize it to accuracy so that our loop will execute at least once, because this condition will always be satisfied, because accuracy is always greater than accuracy by 10. Okay, now nth term becomes nth term is equal to, remember, it is the angle to the power 2n minus 1 divided by 2n minus 1 factorial. So in this case, nth term will be x to the power y, x to the power y. And what is x? X is the angle, that is x, and y is the 2n minus 1, 2 into n minus 1. Okay, this will be the angle to the power 2n minus 1 divided by x to the power y. We have defined the function in that way, x to the power y. Here we need to put a underscore, x to the power y, x to the power y, and here we are calling it x to the power y divided by 2 into n minus 1 factorial, and name of the function is factorial. Okay, here name of the function is factorial. So then we need to add this term, that is sine x plus equal to, that means sin x equal to sin x plus, that would be same as sin x plus equal to first nth term multiplied with this value x to the power y, that is minus 1 raised to the power n minus 1. Okay, we have to put a semicolon here. Now after calculating this, we return the variable sin x, return sin x. Okay, I hope everything is fine. So let us save the program first. Control S. Name of the source file is sine theta. Okay, and type of file is C source file. Save. Now let us compile it. It is saying warning 0, errors 0. Now let us run it. So it is asking for enter the value of angle in degree. So let us first enter a value which sine is known to us. Let's say 90 degree because sine 90 is 1. So it is saying us sine 90 equal to 1. It is working fine. Now let us run it again and let us give another value. As we know, sine 0 is 0. So it should produce 0. Sine 0 degree equal to 0. It is also correct. Now let us run once again. And as we all know, sine 30 degree equal to 0.5 or half. So it should be 0.5. Again it is showing 0.5. So all good except the extra zeros. Okay, so here we need to format it. Here 0.3, let's say we want to display only 3 digits after decimal place, and here also we can write 0.3. Control S. Okay, now we will compile it again and run it again. Now if we give, it will only display the digits up to 3 decimal places. Okay, I hope I have explained everything clearly. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.